The first time they tried to scare me, I thought it was a joke because who sends security guards to a quiet old cabin in the middle of nowhere just because someone is fixing it up? But what I found out later changed everything because this was not just about a cabin. This was about control power and people who could not stand the fact that someone refused to listen to them. I bought that cabin because I wanted peace, a place away from noise, away from rules and constant pressure. It was old, worn down, and honestly, most people would have walked away from it, but I saw potential. I saw something worth rebuilding, something that could become a home again, so I signed the papers, and within a week I was there, cleaning, fixing, and slowly bringing it back to life. The first few days were quiet, just me. The sound of tools and fresh air, and it felt perfect, like I finally made the right decision. But then on the fourth day, everything shifted. I noticed a car parked down the road, not moving, just sitting there watching. At first I ignored it, thinking maybe it was someone passing through, but the next day it was there again. And that is when I started paying attention. Later that afternoon, someone walked up to the property, well-dressed, serious expression, holding a folder like they were here for business, and without even introducing themselves, they told me I needed to stop all restoration work immediately. I asked why, and that is when I heard it for the first time. HOA rules, restrictions, approvals and violations, and I remember just standing there confused because when I bought the cabin, there was no clear mention that it was under any active HOA control. Before I go further, make sure you like and subscribe to Karen Stories Daily. Because stories like this only get more intense, and what started as a simple cabin restoration turned into something I never expected. I asked him to show me official documents, proof of authority, something real, but he avoided the question and kept repeating that I was not allowed to make changes without approval, and that I would face consequences if I continued. And that was the moment I realized this was not about rules, this was about intimidation, and I was not going to back down that easily. The next morning I continued my work like normal because legally I had every right to improve my own property, and if they had a real case they could prove it instead of just showing up and making threats. But things escalated faster than I expected because later that day a different vehicle pulled up, and this time it was not just one person, it was two men in security uniforms, and that changed the entire tone of the situation. They stepped out calm but firm and told me they were there on behalf of the HOA to enforce compliance and ensure no further unauthorized work continued, and hearing that made no sense because this was private property and they had no legal authority to stop me from working on my own cabin. I asked them clearly who sent them and under what law they were operating, but again I got no real answer, just repeated statements about rules and enforcement. At that point I felt something was seriously wrong because this was not normal behavior. This was people trying to create pressure, hoping I would give up and leave, and I started thinking maybe they wanted the property, maybe they did not like that someone new was there, or maybe they were just used to getting their way and did not expect resistance. I told them calmly that they needed to leave and that if they had any legal claim, they could bring it through proper channels, but they stayed standing there watching every move I made like they were trying to make me uncomfortable, and honestly, for a moment it worked because no one expects to deal with security guards while fixing a roof on their own property, but I did not stop. I kept working and acted like they were not even there. The situation kept building over the next few days, more notices, more warnings, more attempts to pressure me into stopping, but every time I checked, everything came back the same. There was no clear enforceable HOA authority over my specific property, at least not in the way they were claiming. And that gave me confidence to continue because I knew I was not doing anything wrong. Then came the moment that changed everything completely, because one evening as I was finishing up work, I noticed those same security guards again, but this time, they were closer, walking around the edge of the property like they were inspecting it without permission, and that crossed a line that should never be crossed, because watching from a distance is one thing, but stepping onto private land without consent is something else entirely. I walked straight toward them and asked what they thought they were doing, and one of them responded saying they were documenting violations and ensuring compliance, and that response made it clear they believed they had authority they did not actually have. And that is when I decided enough was enough, because this was no longer about a disagreement. This was about protecting my rights and stopping something before it went too far. I pulled out my phone, right there and told them clearly that if they did not leave my property immediately, I would call the police and report trespassing, and that changed their tone a little, but not enough because they still tried to stand their ground, saying they were authorized and doing their job, and that was when I made the call, and within minutes everything started to shift in a way they clearly did not expect. When the police arrived, the entire situation flipped because now real authority was present. And the first thing the officer asked was simple: who owns this property? And I showed my documents without hesitation. And then he turned to the two security guards and asked them the same question about their authority, and they could not provide anything solid, just vague statements about HOA instructions, and that did not hold up at all. The officer made it very clear that without proper legal documentation, they had no right to be on my land and no right to interfere with my work and hearing. That in front of them changed everything. Their confidence disappeared, and suddenly they were no longer firm or assertive. They were quiet, avoiding eye contact and trying to step back from the situation they created. Over the next few days, things got even more serious because I decided to take it further. I gathered every notice, every interaction, and every piece of evidence and reached out to get proper legal clarity. And what I found confirmed everything I already suspected the HOA had. No direct control over my cabin in the way they were trying to enforce, and sending security to intimidate me could actually backfire on them in a big way. Not long after that, the same person who first approached me came back. But this time, his attitude was completely different. No confidence, no pressure, just a quiet tone, asking if we could talk and trying to smooth things over, saying there may have been a misunderstanding, and that is when I knew they realized they went too far, because people only change their tone like that when they know they have no ground left to stand on. I listened, but I did not agree to anything that would limit my rights. I made it clear that I would continue restoring my cabin and that any further attempts to interfere would be handled legally, and that was the end of it. No more security, no more threats, no more random visits. Everything just stopped as quickly as it started. The cabin slowly came back to life exactly the way I imagined, and every time I looked at it, I was reminded that standing your ground matters, especially when someone tries to pressure you into giving up something that is rightfully yours. And honestly, that feeling of finishing what I started without backing down was worth more than the cabin itself. If you made it this far, I want to know what you think. Would you have handled it the same way, or would you have walked away? Drop your thoughts in the comments and share this story with someone who needs to hear it. And if you enjoy stories like this, stay connected with Karen Stories Daily, because there is always another story that shows what happens when people push too far and finally get pushed back.